I'm Mark Van Fleet. I am the owner of Harriet Gardens, which is a half-acre urban farm in Marion Village in Columbus, Ohio. My farming practices are 100% chemical-free. I don't use any chemical pesticides or herbicides, fungicides. I mostly just use compost for my soil fertility. I'm sort of minimum tillage and try to be as sustainable as I can possibly be. About 10 years ago, my wife and I bought our first house. I had basically no gardening experience at all. And my wife, one of the reasons she wanted to buy a house was so we could put a garden in the backyard. So that first year, I just basically did what she asked me to do in terms of breaking ground and removing the sod and doing that sort of stuff. And she chose everything that we were gonna grow and put everything in the ground. And about 3 months later, in August or something, we had a pretty nice garden going. And I was just making dinner and realized, wait a second, we've got all this fresh produce in the backyard. And so that was sort of like the turning point, I guess, or where I realized, like, this is amazing to grow your own food and have it a few steps away out in the backyard. I went to school for fine arts, and after I graduated, I made work and tried to exhibit work, did musical projects and stuff like that, and kind of traveled around for a bit, did odd jobs, and then I was working as like a temporary preparator, then was hired at the WEC. So I was one of the registrars there for 10 years. And I really enjoyed that work, but I also was working a lot, and I was in an office behind a computer for sometimes 10 hours a day, and I just kind of got burnt out on it. I started doing some business planning and started looking for property to grow on. One of my colleagues at the Wexner Center, she was curating a show at Mint, which is the warehouse that's next to the farm, which was artist studios and gallery space. So she curated a show there that I came to see, and that's when I noticed the half-acre plot of land that's next to that warehouse that's now what I'm growing on. I would have not found the farm had it not been for my interest in art, because it was next to a warehouse that had art studios and a gallery in it. Sometimes I feel like it was crazy to actually have left that job, but you gotta try new things, and I don't really have any regrets about leaving that job to do something that I do love. It's funny because I think that a lot of people just sort of assume that everyone who's at the farmer's market is like organic, which isn't true at a lot of markets. But yeah, I think that a lot of the people that make a point of coming to farmers markets every week, it's important to them that they're not eating a bunch of chemicals. They want to eat real food. And that's what I'm trying to grow.